What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We are back with another video. I hope you guys enjoyed your week. I had a pretty okay week, last week on, I believe it was last Wednesday, I had a chance to do a live video on YouTube where I discussed the Shea Moisture thing with our subscribers, and I want to say thank you to the 4 callers that called, and I enjoyed the conversation. It was great. And I finally understood where a lot of you women were coming from. So I want to say thank y'all for taking the time to watch, and thank y'all for taking the time to call in. And if you missed that video, please make sure you go back and watch that video. I also had a chance to discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the whole fallout from the part 4 finale, which I just thought was, like a lot of you guys say, it was the roast of Phaedra. Basically, it was the roast of Phaedra. Mm-hmm. And I want to open this video talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 9 Part 4 finale. It was the first ever Part 4 finale. If you're watching The Skorpion Show for the first time, I hope that you click that subscribe button. And please make sure that you like and share our video to Facebook or Twitter or wherever you choose to share our videos. So let's start with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, you know I already had the chance to give my opinion on the whole Phaedra making up lies about Candy thing. So, how do you feel about the whole fiasco that happened on Saturday?
I'm shocked. I'm shocked because I really, I grew to like Phaedra over these few seasons. And I was shocked that she would do that. I was also shocked in her demeanor after it came out that she had started the lies, and how she just was like, really somebody who was caught in their lies, and they really, this is how you look when you really
caught up in your lies, and still keep saying, no I didn't.
It was crazy. And I'm like, is she for real? And it just was like no remorse at all. Like she was just stone faced, and I just felt like every time she apologized, I felt like it was just not genuine.
Yeah.
She was only apologizing because she got caught. And it's so unfortunate because I feel like after that was revealed, I just can't see how anybody would even want to film with her next season. Like, I wouldn't even want to film with her.
I wouldn't even want to deal with her, period.
Like, I don't want to deal with
making up a lie like that. There's no telling what else you lie about, and that means you're capable to lie to anybody.
Yep. But then people kept saying, well, she is a lawyer, and I'm thinking, y'all right. I mean, she is a lawyer, and a lot of them are prone to lie,
Yeah, but, she just made up a situation, and that could hurt Candy and her businesses and things like that.
Well, that's what a lot of lawyers do. Especially if they're a defense lawyer, they're making up something.
That's what your job is to do. But damn it, almost called the king. Phaedra, that was just way over the top, and I was not.
But you know what was so upset? You know what made me more upset about that whole situation? Excuse me. Is that it kind of proved Kenya right. Mm-hmm. Out of all these seasons, Phaedra is fake.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you notice, Kenya kept chiming in.
But it
was almost like, I told y'all. I've been telling y'all. And by the way, Kenya's thigh really was ashy too. Mm-hmm. I saw a picture of her thigh, and I'm thinking maybe that was fake. And then when I actually watched, I think it was not the 4th episode, but the 3rd episode, and she kind of, and I saw her ashy, and I was like, oh my God. Whoever got her dress forgot to rub down her thigh. Like, oh, it was so ashy. But I felt bad because it was like Kenya was right. Mm-hmm. She was right this whole time, even though we know Kenya's shady and she's an instigator and she's also a manipulator. But she was right. Like Phaedra,
And even before Kenya, Nene was saying it too.
Yeah.
And now I think they both probably feel vindicated right now. But they weren't the ones that had to go through that, and it's just horrible. But I still do not feel sorry for Portia, and I don't care what y'all say, because not saying I don't care, but I'm just not going to change my opinion on that, because Portia just kept saying like, oh, but you told me this, you ain't gonna lie. Like, you had somebody tell you this, and you went back and told somebody that they did it.
Right.
Or you repeated it. But even though you didn't say, oh, you tried to do this to me, you said, I heard, but then you kept on with it. Like, you ain't never changed. You ain't never tried to have a real conversation with Candy on the whole situation. Right. My thing is, what you should have done is something serious like that. When you talking about, oh, she was going to drug and rape me, you sit Portia down, Portia, Phaedra, and Candy down. Y'all get down to the bottom of this. And that's how you do that.
Yeah.
And when you wanted to have that restoration process, fucking Phaedra, then this is what should have came out. All of this should have came out, and it's horrible. It's horrible. On Phaedra, if you want to make up a lie like that, you bring somebody on the show to do your dirty work. Right. You don't get your own self fired, because the end result of this is Phaedra Parks will not be returning for season 10 of the Real Housewives.
Oh, I thought maybe that was just a rumor. So it's official.
It's official. And I mean, it's been on every website, not just the blog sites, like big name sites. Phaedra Parks will not be returning for season 10 due to the lies that she told on Candy. Mm-hmm. And if I was Candy, I'd be looking at Andy funny if she's coming back for another season after an allegation like that.
But I think Candy had a big part of her getting fired too. Like,
listen, I'm not going
to... You don't have... And I mean, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. You know, right is right. And you don't make up a lie like that. And then, you know, because like she said, you put that out to the world that my husband and I were trying to drug her and rape her. Mm-hmm. You know, and then, you know, here I am trying to defend my husband. We're trying to defend ourselves, but she's adamant about, no, this is what y'all try, and it's crazy.
And it's bad. And I mean, it wasn't even like y'all really had a bad breakup of a friendship. It wasn't even that. It wasn't something that couldn't have been fixed. Right. But Phaedra, you went all the way left, and you just really fucked this up. Yeah, and
I know she wished she didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck this up like that.
Okay, because who else? I don't know how she's gonna bring her more checks and stuff. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, she got her lawyer on her side. She got her funeral thing, I guess. But Phaedra.
Faye.
That is just hard. I don't feel bad for. I just don't. I just can't. It's just terrible. And that's just how it is. It's just, Phaedra, you really fucking tried it. And I would have never thought you would do something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. Cause
that's bad. Now I've heard of some of the girls make up lies and stuff like that and say shit, but you just went all the way left. And then I was seeing a comment where if Phaedra never lied, this wouldn't have been a Real Housewives season. This wouldn't have been a good season. I mean, other stuff happened on the show with like Kenya and Sheree in their houses, Candy getting the business together, Cynthia and Peter's divorce. Phaedra is the only one who really didn't have a storyline. It's just, I'm married to Apollo, and then I'm not married to Apollo.
Yeah, but
and all of that.
But if you notice, Phaedra's lie took over like 2 episodes of the reunion.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
like towards the end, and then
but I mean towards the end is usually when all the good stuff happens.
Out, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because after this lie came out, it was kind of like we didn't even remember what was talked about in the first 2
because they was just dumb stuff they was going over.
But this lie, I feel like, even though I didn't watch, mind you, I didn't watch this season at all. Mm-hmm. The only episodes I saw of this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta was the reunion.
Yeah,
and I felt like that's all I needed to watch. And it's like, this lie, to me, took over the whole season. Once it came about, it's like it got a life of its own.
And it took everybody by surprise. And even people that don't know about Phaedra Parks found out because they done found out that she got fired from the show because of the lies that she told.
Right.
And Phaedra, you are a veteran. You've been on the show since like season 2 or season 3. I think you came on with Candy. I'm not really sure. No, that was Cynthia. So probably season 3. You know better than that. And that's just horrible. But they're saying the rumors is that Kim and Sheree are returning for season 10 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Because it'll be now Kim and Kenya going at it.
Oh yeah, and then who knows who Nene's gonna go with? She's probably gonna go at it with
Nene's
everybody.
Coming back?
Yeah, they're saying she's coming back.
So it's gonna be Kim, Nene, and Sheree coming back.
Sheree, and then you got Candy, and Portia. I hope Kenya. She don't come back. I mean, Portia was fun, but Portia now is just. I want to find a man to get pregnant by.
Who is Portia going to be friends with?
I don't know.
Her and Nene are friends, right?
See, you can restore Portia because she's just dumb.
Right.
And she fell for a dumb lie. Right. But it's going to take a lot of apologies to gain Candy's trust. Right. You just don't fix a friendship like that. I mean...
Cynthia's coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back. Everybody's coming back except for...
There's going to be a lot of them on this.
Portia. Except for Phaedra. She's not coming back, but everybody else seems to be coming back. But I don't care if Portia comes back or not. Right. She doesn't do it for me. Yeah, she might attract y'all young people, but Bitch, just give me Nene.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Nene, Kenya,
and I'm gonna be waiting for the trip. Cause at the trip, that's when the shit gonna go down.
That shit gets.
And then you know that Sheree and Nene ain't really finished their thing, so it's gonna be good to see them go back.
And Kenya,
and then Nene goes
and
to
then
the house.
If I can see Nene. When it becomes Kim and Kenya, I can see Nene taking Kim's side because she really don't care for Kate, so she's gonna take Kim's side.
Oh, it's gonna be a hot mess, and I will be here for this fall 2017 season 10. You got to do it big. Nene has to come back. She is the main staple of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise. So not having her for season 10, I just think that would be a bad idea, Andy. So please. Get some of the, like you got Kenya, Phaedra, no. You got Nene, Kim, Sheree, Candy, Portia, Cynthia, and Kenya. That's 7 girls. I think that's 8. I think that's 8. Bitch, I can't count. It don't matter.
You said Nene, Cynthia, Portia, Candy, Sheree, Kim, Kenya. That's 7.
That's 7. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm all here for it. And then you could bring back Dwight Eubanks and all the other girls.
No.
I want to see all of them come back and see how they will interact. He don't do it for me neither. Not at all.
I felt like there was no purpose for them on the show.
Not at all. And he was on here this season. So yeah, that's the Real Housewives of Atlanta thing. I'm excited for season 10. Already got Phaedra Parks fired. I don't know what's going on with these airlines, okay? All I know is before I fell asleep last night, when I woke up this morning, I seen that Spirit Airlines had a big fight.
Which is voted one of the worst airlines in the country.
Yeah.
But don't be fooled by their cheap prices.
No, because
that's why they're cheap, because they're voted the worst airlines in the country.
Yeah. And they charge you $50 for carry-on and $55 for to put your bag under the plane on top of the price, and they call that low fares. I don't get those companies. Bitch, they charge you if you probably got to go to the bathroom, or if you need a napkin, if you want something to drink.
I would never fly Spirit.
No.
I would never fly Spirit or Frontier. No. I just wouldn't fly them. And some people, I understand that there's some people who, they want to go the cheap route. Fine, but you get what you pay for. This is why I don't go the cheap route. If I go the cheap route, it'll be a cheap route on American or Delta or something like that. One of them big name companies. Yes. You're supposed to be such a big ass company. You got to send away for every damn thing you need. You don't have no places for your luggage and stuff. You got to make one reservation, then you got to make another reservation and wait for your bags to get there.
Yeah, I mean,
I could have did better by going the hell out there and catching Greyhound.
Spirit is just horrible. I mean, all of those companies that do that, I just don't get it. If you want to make your money, then you do like Southwest and have your lowest fare and things like that.
And Southwest is thebomb.com.
Yeah, I love it. And I don't have any issues with them. And there's no seating chart you get on the plane first. That's the only thing they got. Right. Yeah. And
you sit where you want. And they don't charge you to check your bags either?
No.
Like, how cool is that?
Free.
Like, how cool is that? That is so cool.
And that's why I love Southwest.
And they rarely have any issues.
Yeah, I've never heard anything like real bad.
Right. I mean, they have issues like all airlines, but they rarely have any issues, and it's like, shout out to Southwest.
And Spirit issues right now is that their pilots are not flying their planes right now. And they keep calling out or not showing up, and they have to cancel, and you stranding so many people in these cities, people trying to go to graduations, funerals, weddings. It's the summertime.
Don't fly
Spirit. So, and they got to keep giving out refunds. So now the Spirit Airlines is suing the pilot, whatever union they're part of, because they're not doing their job. It's just horrible. And I just hope to never be in that position with any airline company at all. And then, like, you got people throwing strollers on airplanes. I know the airline industry can be tough, but you signed up for that. And when you are working in that kind of industry, your job is to give
customer service.
A+ customer service to these customers, because they're spending their money to fly on your airline and to speak highly of your airline. And so, like, when you think of something like an airplane, you spending at least $200, okay? On top of if you got to pay for the bag and you paying your hotel and all of that. One bad experience on the airplane or with your airline, one thing you have is word of mouth. I would never fly with this company because I spent all this money and look how they treat me and look what they did. Stuff like that you don't want on your company.
No, you don't.
When people spending big money like that, and some people have to save up for trips and they spending their money. The first thing that go wrong, that's gonna be the first thing they remember, and that's another thing with hotels. If you treat the customer wrong in the hotel, they go right to the manager or whatever, and you're gone because they don't play that. All that back and forth. No, they spending hundreds of dollars a night to sleep in that hotel. You have to treat. Not every customer is right, but damn it, you're gonna have to suck it up if you're gonna work in those kind of industries. So fighting and your customers, all of that shit. No, if you can't do that, then you need to be working in another industry where you don't have to do more, I don't want to say kiss ass, but where the customers normally right 95% of the time. I just feel like these companies, y'all need to do a better job with talking with your employees, or maybe if employees having stress, maybe y'all should have counselors for them so they can discuss it, because it got to be tough flying city from city and you dealing with all of these attitudes from people from all these different places. It's horrible. And now once the story got out with the man getting beat up on the plane, you got all of these stories. Anything that happened on the plane. Oh, a snake fell out on the plane. Oh, a rabbit came out. Like, it's so much.
The guy got bit by a scorpion recently.
Yes, like a scorpion fell out the thing on the plane.
Well, you know, I flew this past December when I went on my cruise. I flew with United, and it's funny because after this incident with this man with United, I doubt if I'll fly with them again because of this incident. No, because of
the scorpion.
Because of the incident with the man, the doctor. Like stuff like that for me. I'm like, I don't want to see something like that and then turn around and buy a ticket with y'all. No. So United, you kind of lost the customer because I don't think that's cool, and especially when the CEO came out and tried to blame it on the guy at first. But anyway, I flew with United back in December, and before we left, we were delayed. We were delayed probably like a half an hour, but it didn't bother me because the delay had something to do with there was something under the plane that wasn't closing. And so when the captain got on and said, this is why we're being delayed, and he explained, and he was very transparent, he explained what was going on, I'm like, good. Keep us down on this ground until this shit is fixed. Because don't take me up there and shit start flying all over the place. Good. So when we finally did get on our way, we flew, we got to Puerto Rico on time, everything was perfect. The cruise didn't leave until that night anyway, and so, everything was fine. Coming back home, we were delayed again. But it wasn't the airline's fault. It was because of Mother Nature up here. Now, down there in Puerto Rico in December, it was like 90 degrees. But up here, that particular day we were coming back, there was a big snowstorm up here. So, they had to wait until the skies cleared for the planes to leave. So I'm like, listen, I'm over it, but better safe than sorry. You know what I mean? And then when our plane finally got to Puerto Rico, they were like, listen, we don't know what they may say to us back up there in New York, so y'all need to hurry up and get on this plane. They started telling us, we don't care what seat you in. Sit down and buckle your seatbelt. And that's how it was. Those flight attendants was like, listen, if y'all want to leave, sit down and buckle your seatbelt. And I'm like, come on, sit down. Find any seat and sit down. Sit down, because we had been in that airport for about 6 hours. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I'm tired of looking at this person. I looked at them for 7 days on this shit. I'm tired of looking at them. Everybody sit down and let's go. So I will say that United was, good. But after that, like you said, all it takes is word of mouth. And for what happened to that doctor, now, after my cruise, I would have recommended United to anybody. But after that incident that we saw on the news where that doctor was pulled off the plane and lost his teeth and had a concussion, I'm like, hell no.
Yeah, and he had to get no surgery. He had to get, he's paid now.
And I had a good experience with United, but watching him have that experience, I'm like, oh, no, I can't fly with them. No, because if they do that to them, they'll do that to me.
Yeah, and now these airlines are supposed to be giving up to $10,000 airline credit, and a man's family got kicked off the plane because it was oversold again. So what are y'all doing?
Right.
Because I'm not getting up for the.
But you know what's so interesting about that story?
I wouldn't get up.
He purchased the ticket for his oldest son. his oldest son ended up going on an earlier flight. So what he decided to do was he decided to put one of his younger kids in that seat. They told him, well, no, because the person that we have on the list for this seat, he's not here. So therefore, we need to put another passenger in that seat. And the father said, well, no, you can't put another passenger in the seat. This is a seat that I paid for my son. He's not here, so I'm putting my other child in this seat. And they told him, no, you can't do that. So then they turned around and kicked him off. And it's interesting because on the video, you could hear one of the employees saying, well, you know, FAA law says that you can't put, but she actually told him something wrong. He was actually able to, she said something like if the child is 2 or something like that, they can't sit there. But FAA law says no, they can sit there if they're 2 or older. If they're younger, no, they're not. But the child was 2 years old. So the child had every right to be right there. And I'm thinking like, well, if he paid for that seat and his oldest son's not there, but he still has another child, that's still technically his seat because he paid for it. And he has every right to say, no, he don't want, because if that's the case, then you need to give me some money for this goddamn seat.
And $10,000.
And $10,000. Now listen, they switched it, the airlines have now switched it to $10,000. I hope I am one of those people that get kicked off.
I need to be on
I need $10,000. Are you kidding me?
Fly anytime I want and anywhere.
Are you kidding me?
On your credit?
I have bills I have to pay.
Yeah, so I hope the airline industry, y'all need to get this together because it's not good. And then CNN and MSNBC, they have been showing that our airline companies here in America are not even like in the top of the world best airline companies.
No.
We are not even there. If anything, we're like 20 something and 50 and like we're in the high numbers. What's going on with that? But we're supposed to be the best country in the world. Diddy is being sued by his former chef for sexual harassment and for, oh, why did it just leave my head? The main thing is sexual harassment. He's being sued by the former chef. She says that she worked for him for a good year and a half from 2015 to 2016, through May 2016. And he was saying that, she was saying that he would have her make him food after he had sex and have her rate his body of how he looks nude when she had sex with him. And he had a friend that came over one time after he had sex with a girl. He asked the girl to say something nice about his penis and all kinds of stuff like that. And then she was saying that she was complaining to one of the people that worked for Diddy about what was going on. And once, you know, the word got out that she was complaining about stuff, he wanted her gone, and he wanted her to sign you know how they have you sign those letters?
Confidential.
You're confidential that you can't, if once you're gone, you can't talk about what's going on. She refused to sign it. Eventually, she ended up being fired, and now she's suing Diddy because she's saying that he also sued her for being a whistleblower, complaining about her job and things like that. Diddy's lawyer saying, no, she's making this up. It's not true. Something went on. I'm not saying I believe her. Like, in these days of sexual harassment, you really have to be clear on everything that's going on. And I hope that if this is true for her, that she documented every time something went wrong. Or if she had a phone, she probably could record or whatever. I think that would have been a good thing. But when something as serious as sexual harassment is going on and people are talking to you any kind of way, you need to document it and then go straight to HR about it. And I think that's the best way.
Oh, she said in that situation when you don't have HR because you're someone's housekeeper, it's a little bit different. Yeah. I would take it straight to the authorities. You see what I'm saying? Because there is no HR that she can report unless he hired her from an agency, which I kind of highly doubt. I don't think Diddy's going to an agency to find a housekeeper. I think he's trying to find, people who are the best experience. But, it's interesting because I usually always picture these celebrities hiring housekeepers who are a little bit older.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And, someone who's been doing this for a long time and, experienced. Not saying that younger people aren't experienced, but I just usually see a lot of celebrities. I just always thought they hired older folks that, you feel like I can, trust
but when you be seeing them celebrity chefs, they look young. Most of them be young and they know how to cook too. I tell you that, but I don't know a whole lot more than that. But if this does have legs, I hope that she has a lot of proof on her side, because you coming against somebody big like Diddy, and this is what the women that be talking about why they be afraid to sue people is because they say, oh, this person has so much power and this person is going to take me down. But if this is happening to you, you have to say something. You have to speak up for yourself. And I'm glad that she's doing it. And if she wins, good for her. The Aaron Hernandez conviction of him murdering Odin Lloyd back in 2012, that conviction has now been overturned due to an old school Massachusetts law that needs to be changed. Is if you're convicted of murder and you appeal the murder conviction, if you die during that appeal, your case is thrown out and as if you've never been charged with murder. And this is what happened with the family of Aaron Hernandez. This is what happened with Aaron Hernandez and the family that was supposed to get, money from this, from him killing Odin Lloyd.
Right.
They get nothing. And right now they get absolutely
because he
nothing.
committed suicide.
Because he committed suicide. Basically because he's dead. No matter how he went out, they're saying if you're dead and you appeal a conviction, it's as if you never committed the murder. And the judge today had to go based on that law. And so now the family of Odin Lloyd, they already have a wrongful death lawsuit against Aaron Hernandez's estate for his murder. But now they just like, no, this cannot be. And I just think that that's a weird law. I've never heard of that law. And if someone is convicted of something and that estate owes money, then they need to pay whether they're dead or alive. They did that while they were alive. So if they got convicted while they were alive and went to trial while they were alive, well, all of a sudden, as if it never happened. If it never happened, their child will still be here. So I just think that that's just a horrible law. And whoever lives in Massachusetts, whoever in the courts and all of that stuff, y'all need to fix that law.
But do you think it's that way because maybe, let's just say Aaron Hernandez wasn't who he is. Do you think maybe it's that way because if Aaron Hernandez was just a regular Joe Schmo and he was to die, then who would pay? Because Aaron Hernandez has money, but what if he didn't have money? Who would pay?
His estate would still have to pay. If he has money, like, I guess if you have...
Yeah, but what if he didn't have any money? So then who would that fall on?
Well, he would just be in jail, I guess.
No, but I'm saying if he died.
If he died...
Yeah, I'm saying the same situation, but instead of Aaron Hernandez being rich, picture him being poor. And he killed somebody, and then he turns around and kills himself. So then who would have to pay this family? Aaron Hernandez is poor. He never had no money in the first place. So should Aaron Hernandez's family have to pay? Like, who would pay?
I don't think they would pay, but they're suing him. I guess they was like, well, no, you're going to pay us for this money. I don't know exactly what was the terms of his conviction and what the family had.
No, but I'm saying this law, because if the law, because you're saying that the law is saying that basically once he's dead, then it's like it's done.
It's as if it never happened.
Right, but I'm also thinking maybe now I could be wrong, but I'm thinking also maybe if it was somebody who didn't have any money, like if it was somebody like me. Yeah, where would they get the money from?
Well, most of the time, if you kill somebody, ain't no money from killing nobody. You're going to jail.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Right, but then if he kills himself, if I kill myself, then because I feel like the family is only getting or was rewarded money simply because of who he is.
Yeah, because he had that money and he got that money tied up and they're like, no, you're going to give us this. You're going to give us this money.
Right, but what if he didn't have any money?
I don't think they would be seeking money. They'd be seeking justice.
Right, but then he went to jail and now he's dead. So then, what do you give the family?
The family's should get. I think they should get something.
What?
He was already trying to come up, be a football player.
Right, but what I'm saying is, this is probably only happening because of who he was. If he wasn't who he was, but if he wasn't who he was, then
they will be saying we want him to go to jail and perhaps for life or
no, but I'm saying
I get what you saying.
No, because you're saying something before all of that. I'm saying, all right, he's already in jail, and then he kills himself. Then what does the family want?
The family want the money that they was already supposed to be getting in the first place.
Yeah, but if I don't have any money, the family's only that's
Listen,
not what I'm saying.
You.
No, I'm saying this is only the case of money because he's rich.
And what's the point? They want their money.
But the point is, they don't do that for everybody.
No.
Right. So if he didn't have any money, then what? You would have to do what us regular families have to do. We have to watch our loved ones' killers go to jail and they kill themselves.
Yeah,
but we can't ask for no money.
It depends.
But where are we gonna get the money from?
I don't know. If they get the money, then
so then what I'm saying is this family, whether or not he has money or not, he's dead now.
It's not whether or not he has money, he's dead.
No, it is that. Because if I can't get no money when somebody in my family dies, you shouldn't get none either. Simply because he's Aaron Hernandez. So that means that your loved one's life was more important than mine, and so therefore you should get money and I shouldn't?
That's not the same thing.
No, that's what it sounds like it's saying. Simply because he was rich, he has to pay them.
Well, that family is sued. The family sued him.
Okay, but then who are they?
So
they sued him.
If they know you ain't got no money, ain't no use suing you if they ain't gonna get no money. But if they know you got the money, fuck yeah, I'm gonna sue you and I'm gonna get my motherfucking money. That's why you think people going to Judge Judy? They know they're not getting that $2,000 back. So bitch, I'm gonna take you to TV and Judge Judy gonna give me the money and make you look like an asshole in front of 10 million people. Happens all the time.
But didn't you just let me just make sure I'm correct.
Yes.
Didn't you say that now that he's dead,
that the judge is saying that because he's dead, because he appealed the conviction
and he's dead,
and the case is open. Now that he's dead, while it's an open appeal for the conviction of his murder, then it's as if it never happened.
So therefore, they don't get paid.
They don't get nothing as of now. No, but the family has a wrongful death lawsuit against him for killing their son and acting like he never did it and was hiding the weapons and shit. So now they're like, you killed my son, we want our money, or you want to pay us. There's no value to me. There's no value of life or money when it comes to somebody somebody dying.
Right. I don't think that's.
I don't ever want to
be
in that. Either. I don't want to ever in my life be
in that situation.
In that situation where I have to say, well, how much is this person's life worth for me to sue them? I don't ever want to be in that predicament. Then you got to spend that money, and it just don't feel right. It just.
I feel like, to me,
but
this
some
is
people
why
don't think like
they
that.
don't. Yeah, and see, I've always wanted to know. Because I've never had anybody that close to me die in that way. So I'm saying to myself, I can't even imagine. I would already be distraught that my loved one is dead. I can't imagine now trying to sue for money. Because like you said, how do you put a price on their life? For me, I would probably be like this. Listen, send their ass to jail. Don't give me no money. Because now I don't even want to have to deal with you. I don't want to have to keep going to court and doing all this. I just want nothing to do with you.
I think probably what the family want is some money from whatever money he had left over with the New England Patriots. I don't know how much they want. Do they want a cut of it? Do they want the whole thing? I don't know how much they want.
But I want to know, why did they want that? Like, why?
I'm not the family, so
that doesn't bring anybody.
But you know what though? Let me tell you something. People sue hospitals all the time for maybe the wrong diagnosis, for the wrongful death of a family member.
Right.
Now, let's say like if I was in that situation, I wouldn't want to come up with a price. What I would do is I would probably have the people arbitrate it out and then deal with it that way. Because I don't want to.
You don't put a price on
it. Yeah, because I don't understand how some people be like, oh, you did this, I'm suing you for $5 million. How can you say you suing somebody for $5 million? Right. I've never got that.
Right.
Like a wrestler right now is being sued for $1 million because he got a camera kicked out of his hand. But bitch, you supposed to be punking somebody. Their reaction is their reaction. Right. How you think, how you going to be mad at somebody else's reaction if you want to punk them? So yeah, anyway, I would like to see the comments on that. How do you come up with the value for someone's death when you're suing someone? Because you know them families be taking like, let's say like with the police office, they be like $6 million settlement with the like. How do they? I wouldn't feel right spending that money.
I feel like, you know, if anything, y'all should be responsible for paying for the funeral. Y'all should be, even though that's, you know, y'all should be responsible for paying for the funeral, and y'all should be responsible for any type of medical bills that occurred while this person was hurt or killed under you because of you. But other than that, I can't see, like you said, I cannot see me asking for, give me $6 million. Because it's like, and then I can't see me spending $6 million knowing that I got this money because.
Then your whole family going to be after you.
Right. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Give me $2. Like, come on.
It's weird. It's weird, but you know, it's weird. It's weird to me.
It's very weird.
I feel like you now. It's weird to me. It's very weird to me. You know, I just feel like at some point, you know, it's time. Which brings me. Can I just say this? This really has nothing to do with wrongful money and stuff like this, but because we're talking about murders. I watched this, one of my followers had posted on Instagram the other day that she had watched this documentary called The Witness on Netflix. And so I'm like, okay, you know, and she started explaining what the documentary was about. So I said, okay, I'm going to watch it because, you know, I love me some good documentaries. And so finally I was able to watch it the other day. And when I tell you I was instantly hooked, I was like, oh my God. So I'm just going to give y'all a brief.
Is it a series or
no?
a show?
It's just one documentary, and it's about this woman named Kitty Genevieve. She was brutally murdered back in 1964. On her way home, this guy, you know, stabbed her to death, and we never really heard about it. Well, we never heard about.
1 second. I'm sorry. Let me go in the hallway.
You about to pass gas right there?
Yes.
Yeah, don't pass gas right there. Because that's going to float this way. Go all the way in the hallway. Go in the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom? Go ahead. I'll wait.
Let me.
Jesus.
Oh my God, I was trying to hold you so bad.
What
Bitch,
did you eat?
I had something. I am so sorry about that, yo. I am so sorry, but when nature calls, it calls. So you were talking about The Witness.
Yes. So it's a story. It's a story about a woman who was murdered. Her name is Kitty Genevieve. And like I was saying, you know, most of us had never heard of this story before. But what made it so interesting is because when it happened back in 1964, there was an article that was printed a few days later that said, you know, basically in a nutshell, this woman was murdered out on the street with 38 people, witnesses watching, and none of them did nothing. And so you have to watch, the documentary is so good. Her youngest brother, he, about 10, 15 years ago, he started doing this whole thing where he wanted to really find out, was it really 38 people who witnessed his sister be murdered and not do anything? Who murdered her? Why? You know, it's a really good documentary, and he just wanted closure for himself. And so I would really recommend that you guys go to Netflix and look up The Witness. It's called The Witness. Okay, it's really good. It's sad too. It's so sad because it really was a senseless murder. And one of the scenes in the documentary, which really upsets me, is when her brother meets up with his sister's killer's son.
Oh, don't say nothing else.
And yeah. And y'all want to see why it upset me, because I just felt like, yeah. So, The Witness on Netflix. Also, look it up. Let me know, you know. Also, one more thing before we get back to the thing. Last night, a few weeks ago, I recorded the documentary that came on TV about last month. It's called L.A. Burning 25 Years Later.
Yes.
I started watching it. It's
came on ABC.
Well, but it originally came on A&E.
Oh.
When it originally aired, and then they re-aired it on ABC. Because when I recorded it on A&E. I recorded it last month, and I finally got to start watching it last night. That's how I procrastinate. Well, anyway, I'm probably like, I would say I'm probably like, I want to say maybe 15, 20 minutes into the documentary. The first fucking 5 minutes is good. I've seen, because it all started with the whole Rodney King beating. I've seen the Rodney King beating before the video, but the way they played it over and over and over within the first like 5 minutes of this documentary, that I was tired of them replaying it.
To make you upset.
It was making me really upset. And then I never thought about it. I never knew that there was actually somebody who, that famous video is from somebody who was recording it from his apartment. I thought that it was a video from the police car, like a dash camera. It was actually somebody, and it was a white man too.
And that's before videotapes was
right, because he had a camcorder, and he recorded it. His wife came out on their balcony and they recorded it, and they couldn't, and he was explaining like, we couldn't understand why, this man was getting beat. And then he said the next day, he decided to send it to the local news.
Oh my God.
And he was saying that in the beginning, when he first sent it, to them, they kind of dismissed it, and they put it on, how the news has like, the first hour of the news is like, and then the second hour, they put it on the second hour. He said, but when they put it on the second hour, and he said the minute they named him, and he said his phone rang off the hook, and then he started getting all these phone calls from different news outlets asking if they could, and then that's when it just went from there. But he was like, he was so shocked because when he first gave it to the news, they kind of were like, okay, well, this is another, not realizing that it would blow up to be what it was. But I would definitely recommend y'all check that out too. I haven't finished watching that, so I can't wait to go home and finish watching that, because that was good.
This is a 2-hour documentary, right?
I don't know if it's 2 hours, because I just recorded it.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it is.
I think it's 2 hours, because I remember they was on ABC talking about it. One of them went on The View. I can't remember who. But it was about the LA riots from 1982 to 1992.
And it was, go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I remember.
And
I was supposed to watch it.
This particular one, it's called LA Burning, and it doesn't start from 1982. It starts, they talk about what happened, but it primarily starts from when Rodney King was beat.
Oh,
and
we
then
probably
from
talking
the verdict.
about two different ones, but yeah, I know that was a tough time.
Yeah, because in the one that I was watching, John Singleton, the director.
Yeah, he's directing it.
Yeah, well, he was, I don't know if he's directing this, but he was in this documentary, and he was talking about how he was filming Poetic Justice at the time. And he said that when they were on their way to Simi Valley, which so happens to be the same place where they had the trial at, because they didn't want to have it in LA, so they had it in Simi Valley. And he said when him and Janet and Tupac and all of them were on their way to Simi Valley, they had got word that they were about to do the verdict. And he said that he said, fuck this movie, we're going to go to the courthouse. And you actually see him there at the courthouse when the verdict is read, and you see the people start throwing shit at the, it's good. So yeah, it may be another documentary, but the one I'm talking about, it's called LA Burning 25 Years Later. So look that up.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It must be the same. Yeah,
it's the same thing. Yeah.
So yeah.
So there's news that, well, it's not news, but it is today, that American Idol will be coming back to ABC.
I feel like this. This is how I feel. Because I saw that today and I really, really rolled my eyes. I feel like this. If Simon, Paula, and Randy ain't coming back, I don't want to watch it. Yeah. I just feel like that's the only way you going to get me to watch it. The original judges. Mm-hmm. I don't want no Jennifer Lopez. I want Simon, Randy, and Paula. All three of them. And I want whatever was in Paula's cup at that time to be back in her cup.
Yeah, it makes a whole lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, right? Because all three of them had their own special unique judging. Simon was just blunt. Mm-hmm. Randy would put the paper in his face and start laughing at you.
And Paula
was just drunk.
Yeah, because it wasn't water in that Coca-Cola. It wasn't Coca-Cola in Coca-Cola cup.
No, it wasn't. It was mixed vodka and something.
Baby, I would be up there doing the same thing, Paula. Keep doing your thing.
Oh,
I'm excited, but then I don't know.
No.
Because American Idol's been on TV 15 years.
Yeah, but it's been off for the past 2, and nobody's been asking about it.
Off for 1 year.
Well, I heard
But I knew it was coming back. Because when I watched the last episode, Seacrest was like, Seacrest out. For now. And I was like, what the fuck he mean for now? First it's supposed to come on NBC. They couldn't work out a deal. And now it's coming on ABC. Now ABC could use a show like American Idol.
See, you catch stuff like that. I didn't even watch the last episode. Even if I did, I probably wouldn't have caught that he said for now.
He said for now, and then like it was off. It was already off, and he's like for now, and I know I wasn't the only one that caught that, and we was all tweeting about like what they mean for now. So it's coming back. Ryan Seacrest says he's not saying no to doing the show. Now, mind you, this man already got like 25 other jobs,
right.
And he just signed on, and he's already on the show with Kelly and himself. Mm-hmm. And he has a radio show he does. And he's going to be flying in. And it's too fun. It better be a lot of... I wish I could be a Ryan Seacrest. I don't know how
he's going to make the time.
But baby, whoever, he is paid.
Because what's going to happen is, if he does come back, which I'm sure he will, because he's the original host. He's the original host, the only host, and it just makes sense. What's going to happen is, because of who he is and the star power that he has now, American Idol is going to work around his schedule. Yeah. And they're going to make sure he's there.
Yeah, I said they should take the show in New York. Make it easy.
They should.
They got everything in LA, they got in New York. Put it there.
Right.
And the Grammys is coming to New York next
yes, I was about to say, speaking of New York, the Grammys is coming. So we're going to see all fur coats on the red carpet next year. Because it's coming to New York. The 60th Annual Grammy Awards is coming back to New York, to Madison Square Garden in January.
And that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun time.
In January. Mm-hmm. Jesus have mercy.
James.
Can you imagine how cold that's going to be?
He said fur. They probably have it heated out there on that red carpet.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. But who's to say that if it's not a snowstorm? You can't predict what you can't.
Don't even say that.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. It has been held in New York before, but for like the past 10, 15 years, it's been straight LA.
Yeah, at one time I think they had it in Miami. I'm not sure.
No, that was.
But they need to keep it. I think they should do both on both coasts, New York and LA. But it's easier on the LA coast because it's the
weather.
It's the weather, and then when it's 11 o'clock here, it's only 8 o'clock there. Right. So the parties can go on and on and on all night.
But see, I feel like too. I think that if you do have it here, you should kind of have it a little bit. If you do have it on the East Coast, it should be a little bit later in the year when it's like more, like maybe in March.
Maybe that's not how they. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
But I mean, January, that's
their season, the Grammy season, and then they follow it up with the Super Bowl, or it's either
cold.
It used to be before the Super. I don't know, but yeah, the Grammys will be here next year in New York on the East Coast, and I'm planning on trying to go. Yeah, I want to go. Why not? It's New York. What else did I have? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is giving her fans money, paying for their college tuition.
Too bad I'm not a fan.
And all you had to do is have a 4.0, a 4.0 grade average, and she will confirm it with the school that this is your grade, and she will pay whatever you owe. And I just think that's just a great thing for Nicki Minaj to do, and she just did it on the whim on Twitter. Like, bitch, let me see your report cards. Who got good grades? So shout out to Nicki Minaj for doing something like that. I want to know what else she's doing. I haven't been watching her. I really don't pay attention to her like that. But I just think that it's a good thing that she, gave back to society. And I hope that she keeps on giving. And shout out to Nicki Minaj for doing something like that. And I hope these other singers and stuff don't try to start doing what she do. But then again, it could be a good thing because paying it forward is always a great thing. I had one more note that I wanted to talk about. Ebony Miller from Dance Moms is being sentenced to 1 year and a day in jail she filed for bankruptcy and she did not tell that she had an additional $750,000 somewhere. So she had to go to court. She was in there crying and all of that shit. So she's going to jail for a year and a day. And she said she's never going to do a show again. I guess, I don't know why. I mean, a lot of people go to jail and come back out and renew themselves. But Ebony Miller will be in jail. And if you don't know who she is, Dance Moms was one of my favorite shows. And after about 30 of the same episodes of 5 days for competition, 4 days for competition, the competition, they don't win, they get cursed out. They would lose, they get cursed out. I mean, it's just the same thing over and over and over to me. And I stopped watching it. But it was a good show back 6 years ago. So she's going to jail and... she wants to go to jail in L.A. because it's closer to her new dance studio.
She wants to go to jail. She wants to pick where she wants to go to jail because it's closer for her. This sounds like Pablo Escobar. I'll go to jail, but it has to be to my liking. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see Narcos?
I seen some of it. I seen like the first two.
Well, for those of you,
so it's all in Spanish.
Well, you ain't seen nothing if you only saw the first two episodes. Y'all remember on Narcos? For those of you that watched, remember they finally got up with him and he went to jail and he told them, "Listen, I'll go to jail, but y'all gonna have to build a jail for me." And they built this jail specially for him and his men, and it was like a mansion. Pool tables. Every so often they would ship up the women that come up there, they tours and stuff they have sex with. It wasn't a jail. Yeah, it was to his liking. I'll go to jail, but it has to be to my liking.
This was in Mexico.
No, this was in not Mexico. South America. Somewhere in South America. I do know that, but I can't think of where in South America.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Who was that yelling?
You talking over them. I'm trying to hear what they saying. They ain't saying nothing now. You some shush. Who was that yelling? Come on, they're not saying anything.
Yeah, so that's
Did you hear yourself?
Yeah, I cut that shit out my
Yeah, you
head.
did, because that's a deep gash.
Yeah, I cut the hell out of it.
And you got 2 knots right here.
I did it last night. I took the razor. I knew I was trying to get it because sometimes it'd be like here, right there, and then but I didn't feel it. I just seen the blood.
Why don't you use your phone?
I wasn't thinking.
And
about
you got
that.
a mirror so that you'll be able to see. But you gotta be careful because that's deep, baby.
But it'll be alright.
Yeah, you'll be alright, but I don't want you to have that gash.
I got a lot of damn scars from blade in my head. Yeah, I think that's it. So I want to say thank y'all for watching this video. I see a lot of people don't want American Idol to come back, but I'm going to watch it to see what it do. Basketball Wives, I'm doing a video for that because I had to talk about episode 4 and episode 5. I am in love with this season. Now, I don't like that it got 125 new girls on the show, but
I watched Basketball Wives.
Evelyn, Tammy, and Jackie do it for me.
I just missed this episode last night.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they're killing their show already because why would y'all put the Basketball Wives on a Sunday against the Real Housewives of Atlanta and against the MTV Awards? That's stupid. So I didn't know about it was another episode, so I watched both of them today. But you said you didn't watch last night's.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed last night's.
But you seen when Evelyn and Tammy made up.
No, so don't tell me about it. That was last night's.
No.
Wasn't last night the 4th episode?
Last night was the 5th episode.
Okay, so I missed the 4th episode.
So they showed 2 episodes in a row for some reason.
Yeah, so I didn't see the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. It's just a mess, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Tammy can't stay out the drama, no matter who it's with.
No,
only one she won't fight is
Tammy is a troublemaker. No, because that's a check. That's where her checks are coming from. So she better not fight Shorty.
I don't think they had one argument at all. But yeah. Thank y'all for watching. I gotta go. Y'all be good.
Stop.